Social Security and the increase to your monthly benefits. Will everyone get the exact same amount? That's a great question and exactly what we're going to discuss right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now this is a really great question that I've seen showing up, and I've seen it in a number of headlines as of recently. For example, a lot of times the headlines read something like, Social Security beneficiaries are going to get $175 as a raise to their monthly benefits. Or something like, Social Security beneficiaries are going to get exactly $193 more as a raise to their benefit. Well, is this exactly true? That's exactly what I want to focus on for you right here in the video, because it's not exactly like that for everybody. So let's get right into the details. However, really quickly before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as I am your one and only daily advocate, and I am very much dedicated to you and this community to do all the research and to break it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what is actually going on right now during this very busy time as we continue to get all these new very important announcements. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side every single day to keep you updated and to help you out in any way that I possibly can, as I know monthly benefits are incredibly important right now, especially during this very expensive time that we are currently living through, and I know those monthly benefits are very essential and important. So again, thanks so much. Please remember, I am here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Make sure to subscribe down below, and let's get into it and discuss this very important topic in regards to a raise and or increase to your monthly benefits. Now, I do want to bring this to your attention because I've seen this showing up a little bit lately, and like I said, I've seen this in a number of headlines as I've been doing my daily research each and every day. I continue to come across these headlines, and I feel like, you know what, that's actually not true. Now, in fact, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for any length of time now, you know this because I've gone through the numbers with you in multiple different videos. Each and every month on a regular basis, I'm back with you, breaking it all down, and you can see from those videos that I bring to you, I break it all out, and I show you very clearly with the numbers that I calculate for you. The numbers are very different for everybody. It is not a one-size-fits-all for everybody, except in one situation. SSI beneficiaries. Now, if you are an SSI beneficiary, supplemental security income, and you are receiving the maximum benefit, then yes, as an SSI beneficiary, you would be getting the same amount provided you're getting the maximum benefit, the $841 as of this year, 2022. Now, it only applies to those people simply because your benefits are the exact same amount. Therefore, the raise would be the same for everybody, right? However, when we're dealing with percentages, when we adjust the numbers as in the baseline number, as in the amount of benefit you're getting, whether it's $841 from SSI, $920 from SSDI, $1,010 from Social Security retirement, or $3,000 from Social Security retirement, or even $1,358 from Social Security disability, any of these dollar amounts, it's going to change because as we change the baseline number, as in the monthly benefit amount, therefore, as we calculate from the perspective of a percentage, we have to deal with higher numbers because that's how percentages and calculations work. As you multiply numbers with a percentage, the numbers get bigger, the bigger that the baseline number comes from that you're calculating from, right? Simple mathematics. Anyway, I've talked about all these numbers previously in other videos, but I want to come back for you and shake this all up because I continue to see these headlines saying Social Security is going to get exactly $175. Social Security is going to get exactly $193 per month. That's not really how it works, okay? So let me give you some quick examples on this. So here's what it all comes out to. Right now, as we anxiously await how much that raise is going to be as a result of the annual cost of living adjustment, again, we've been seeing estimates all across the board right now. For the last several months here, we've been seeing all kinds of estimates coming out anywhere from about mid 7% range, mid 8% range, low 9s, 9% range, high 9%, even mid 10s, and even up to 11%, and even actually 11.4% in some instances. We've been seeing these numbers lay out. So you can see here, we have a huge spread right now when it comes down to how much this raise could actually be. But again, as I mentioned, depending on what this percentage comes in at, whatever it happens to be, whether it's 7%, 9%, or 11%, the benefit amount is going to be different for every single person. Now again, by default, because there are so many millions and millions of beneficiaries across all these benefits, there's about 70 million beneficiaries. Well, by default, it's probable that there are some people that have the same benefit amount. but the vast majority of people do have a different benefit amount. So therefore, we cannot do a one-size-fits-all approach. However, these numbers that I've been seeing in the headlines are actually coming out suggesting that Social Security beneficiaries are going to be getting, say, 175 or 193, these numbers like this, based on the average Social Security benefit right now in 2022. Let me tell you those numbers really, really fast just to put this into perspective. So according to the reports, they are saying that right now in 2022, the average Social Security retiree is getting $1,657. Meanwhile, the average SSDI beneficiary is getting $1,358. That's what the reports are saying. So these numbers that they're calculating from are giving the baseline number as far as how much the raise could be based on the average benefits for Social Security retirement and, of course, disability. Now, the vast majority of these reports are actually specifically talking about Social Security retirement. Even though there's about 8 million Social Security disability beneficiaries, they usually focus on Social Security retirement simply because that encompasses about 65 million beneficiaries, so a much more substantial number. But at the end of the day, the raise does apply to Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, and yes, even VA benefits. So it does apply to all these benefits across the board. However, with that being said, now I want to shake this all out for you and just let you know that these percentages that I'm talking about, whatever it happens to be, in fact, as you probably saw in one of my recent videos, I talked about this and I said, realistically, based on everything that I'm looking at right now, based on the estimates and all that I'm looking at in regards to inflation and everything else right now, that 11.4% number that was thrown out, I don't know, month and a half, maybe, almost 2 months ago now, realistically, I can't see that happening. I'm just being real with you right now. Please don't be upset with me. I just do not see an 11.4% raise. Realistically, unless we get some very high inflation numbers here during the very 3 important months, July, August, and September, unless we get some very high percentages during these 3 months, I honestly don't even see 10% happening. I'm just being real with you again right now. I don't even see that. Realistically, I think something between the lines of 8% and about 9.5%. I think even 9.5% might be pushing it. Probably anywhere between 8 and probably low 9% range is probably highly likely and probably more within the range, provided that the numbers come in as they have been as of recently. But remember as well, with the efforts out of the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, again, it's not going to do much, hasn't been doing anything, but yet they continue to think that this is on the trajectory of lowering inflation. It's not doing anything. But anyway, we do know this much, that this is actually happening, right? So in the event that inflation does drop off significantly here during these 3 very important months, then maybe we could see a rate even lower than that. But we already do know that without a doubt, this raise will likely be higher than the raise we got this year in 2022 at 5.9%. I honestly think we're going to be higher than that by at least a few percentage points. If we get down to that, I think a lot of us are going to be throwing up the flags and saying, oh no, foul, we're calling a foul on that one because, we had all this inflation very, very high throughout the entire year. And then sure enough, right during the 3 critical months, they pull it on us and say, oh no, just kidding. It's going to be this much, right? So I think if we get a little tiny raise like what we did this year in 2022, I think a lot of us are going to be pretty disappointed. But again, I would anticipate probably anywhere between realistically 8 to 9%. And again, as we run those numbers, the calculations, it's all based on percentages. So somebody receiving a $500 benefit is going to get a smaller raise because we're calculating from percentages versus somebody getting a $1,000 benefit. Somebody getting a $1,000 benefit is going to get a smaller raise than somebody getting a $2,000 benefit. Somebody getting a $2,000 benefit is going to get a smaller raise than somebody receiving a $3,500 benefit. You know what I mean? So it's all based on the baseline number and the percentage that we're calculating from. The higher the baseline number, the higher the actual sum of the numbers will actually be based on the calculations. Make sense? I know. I'm not a mathematician. I know it sounds like it right now. I'm seriously not a mathematician. I just know basic stuff about math, and that's all it really comes down to, right? Is just calculating with percentages. That's all it really comes out to. The bigger that number that you calculate from, the higher the number actually comes out to be, when you calculate from a percentage standpoint. So that's all it really comes down to. So if you've been seeing other headlines out there right now, or if you've been some of the people down in the comment section asking, hey, are we all going to get the same raise? The answer is no, we're not all going to get the same dollar amount raise. When it comes to the percentage, yes, we're all going to get the same percentage raise, but When it comes to dollars based on that percentage, no, the dollars are not going to be the same. The percentage, yes. Dollars, no. Make sense? I know. Sorry. I hope this isn't becoming really confusing now. I hope this is becoming a little bit more easy to understand. The fact of the matter is, we all know this. We've all dealt with this for many, many years in the past. As we run the calculations on the cost of living adjustment, we know it adjusts a little bit each and every year. So, however, one exception to the rule, like I said earlier, is SSI beneficiaries, and if they are getting the maximum benefit of $841 per month right now. For these people, then yes, the percentage will be the same, and yes, the dollars will be the same, because we're dealing with the exact same number, right? So, kind of hope that makes sense. But if you're an SSI beneficiary and you're getting less than the maximum, let's just say you're getting $800 a month versus the $841, your raise, unfortunately, will be a little bit less than the people getting $841 because, again, we're calculating from a smaller baseline number. Make sense? Anyway, I think I should probably leave it there for now before I try to make this too confusing, just because I'm going through so many different examples and running so many different numbers here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make this a little bit easier to understand, and honestly, I feel like I'm just digging a bigger hole now. So anyway, I hope this helps you out a little bit to better understand the situation. And again, be sure to stay tuned, as I've made multiple different videos over the last, 4, 5, 6 months or so, where I've talked about all of these different calculations. As we continue to get these projections coming in, I've been coming out for you in these videos saying, how much is your benefit raise actually going to be? And I give you multiple different examples. I usually run calculations from the baseline numbers of $600, $700, $800, $900, and of course, $1,000, because I do think that encompasses the vast majority of you here in this community. There are a few of you that get a benefit higher than $1,000. But there's not many, right? I've seen the comments down below. And again, please don't leave your benefit amount down below. It's not my business. And realistically, it's nobody else's business either. That's your own personal information. So please don't leave that down below. But anyway, you know that you've probably seen those videos. And as we continue to get more of these estimates coming in, I'll continue to run those numbers for you, because I think a lot of us are just as excited about this as everybody else, wondering how much is it going to be. I want to know some real numbers behind it. A percentage is great, but what does this come out to as far as dollars in your bank account? Well, that's why I like to run the numbers for you, so you can see what it's actually going to shake out to as far as a monthly raise to your benefit. Hope that helps you out. Anyway, thanks again for the questions down below. And again, thanks so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I thank you once again for your continued support here on the channel. I really do appreciate it. And remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. It is my dedication and commitment to do whatever I can to be here for you, right by your side every single day, helping you navigate this very busy and confusing time. So again, if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe down below. It's totally free to do so. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you again later.